What's up, fellow gamers? Welcome back to Let's Play Cyberdeck's Flashpoint. This episode probably is going to be a relatively quick one. We're here in time to get to work. We've got some captains to kill, and really we're, as mentioned in the end of last episode, we're kind of gearing up to get some of our first initial hires, or like our next initial hires, and get a sim stream trainer done so that we can make them more powerful as understudies. Now, we're here on a Kill 3 Captains mission. Those captains are over there by one of the exits, over here in the middle, and kind of next to him in the middle as well. So part of me wants to take a pathing that goes kind of like this, and then out and through, because this section is not very useful, so I kind of want to like dip in briefly. In fact, there's two of them, makes it a little bit funky as well. But what I'm thinking about doing is... So a couple other random thoughts that matter here. My hacker's cyberdeck, I guess we can't tell from this screen, my hacker's cyberdeck is somewhat damaged, and he probably has time to repair it before the next mission, but the story mission truck job that we've been offered is hacking required. I think it's hacking required. It's hacking to make it infinitely easier. It's functionally hacking required because the mission gets really, really hard without it. So I need to make sure that he's not injured and able to run it, no problem, and that he has a healthy cyberdeck so that we don't, randomly lose to like the deck blowing up. So it means I have to be a little cautious around some of the choices I'm making. So that means that this host is going to be ignored. This map is spawning with an orange matrix host. I don't want to deal with an orange host. They're relatively tough. They can do mean things to you. I don't want to deal with that, so I'm not going to. Anyway, what this all boils down to is, let's run this map. Again, captain's right over here. We'll probably end up fighting them from like over these laser wires. Man, these are going to be really annoying to kill because we just don't have that much damage overall without going loud. And I think ultimately we probably just have to go loud and then just run away from the like clearly like pending reinforcements, and that's just going to be how it's going to go. I don't really see it going that differently. Of course, I'm going to turn off what I can. Initiative rolls are going to be acceptable here, so I can delay and then yield, and then I think we can attack from around here and it'll function. So I'm going to go ahead and just like preemptively throw down JTAC. Yeah, I'm going to preemptively throw this down. I think there's a really good chance we're going to need that. Yield to the soldier, and then he can sort of start things off. We're going to ignore these guys. This guy needs to die, of course. I want to, as usual, go to an odd amount of action points, so we'll start here. Right, there we go. That should be 4 shots in the magazine. And roughly enough damage to make that work pretty cleanly, so we'll just go for that. You are a regular guard. You can probably die in the same way. I'm not going to worry about that one too much. So, shot 1. 2. 3 and 4. Great. We have like at the beginning of savagery, I think, and that just isn't going to do anything for a while. So you're chilling. I'm going to have you run up and do similar things. So I do want to use, again, bonus damage and whatnot. One thing I need to be concerned about is this camera. It will eventually turn on to see the corpse anyway, but the more I delay it, the better that is for me. So yeah, I think going to here still gives me 3 shots. Otherwise, it's like going to here for 4. That's not really reasonable, so... Shit. Oh, wait. Ah, crap. I need to turn this camera off, so I was off by 1 here. That's unfortunate. I want to attack from stealth at least, so I'm going to at least go here. And then... Yeah, you're obstructed, so I'm going to waste the action point and not run up. So I'd have higher accuracy for the shot, which I think is needed. So sniper can take his turn. We'll go from here. That should be a relatively easy kill. Cyberknight can grab that box. Shouldn't be a big problem. My Cyberknight does have really good damage. So it's... Actually, one thing... One consideration I have is... Here, let's just take the shot. Cool. The fact that it doesn't kill is actually a good thing for me, because it means that my Cyberknight can set up for steamroll. And now that everyone else's turns are done, I can get a kill, trigger steamroll, and we're going to be a little bit nicer next turn as a result. So I've got to basically go... Yeah, I'm going to not risk some stuff. So I'm going to walk to here. It'll require a bit of backtracking, but oh well. So you're definitely dead. Steamroll pops. So my entire squad's going to have a move point and some move speed for next turn. And so the question basically is, can I choose to either not grab this at all or grab it late? I'm tempted to say we're going to grab it late, like send my hacker back to grab it because he's like not great at guns. He doesn't have any gun talents, and let him be, you know, a little bit wasteful, and that's okay. I think it's better than my cyberdeck wasting our action points, I'm pretty sure. So, but I also don't want to 3-man this entire map, right? Like, there's a world where, you know, the entire 18 comes here, shoots these guys with assault rifles, put down strike zone, you know, goes decently, and the hacker like grabs this, like just grabs loot as though I'm playing like a bodyguard mission. I'm not sure that's actually wonderful, but it would kind of work. But I think it's better to... I mean, someone's walking back for this anyway, so let them grab this and be posted up instead. I think it's actually not unreasonable. Okay, what I'm going to do is stop short 1 action point, because I need to know what these guys are doing, because I don't know what these guys are doing. We now know where all 3 captains are. Okay. Yeah, okay, you're both heading toward me, so it's possible we can bait you in. Which means I need to actually hide back here, because I think letting them walk forward is correct. I don't think there's a downside for letting them walk forward. It allows them to be in a little bit more of a secluded location, so that they're less likely to have their corpses be seen. Yeah, that just seems like clearly correct to do. You're probably standing still, and I think you're probably doing the same. Yep, great. Alright, well, there's going to be nothing for the A to talk about. We'll just tally. We do have all of our turns right now, but we should still let the guards go first. In case we don't get the kill, they can't shoot back. So, and I think here is relatively safe, where I'm pretty well covered. Once he comes out from here, he's not going to have the vision cone, so that should be fine. The entire squad can just hit the delay button. I'm going to preemptively throw down strike zone around here. That should have no problems in catching all the guard captains. But there's a chance I wouldn't get my initiatives to line up correctly, so I wanted to precast that. Same with JTAC. So you're running forward, you go into strike zone. I should be on the outside of your cone. I am. You see a body, but you stop. That's expected. This guard captain is probably walking away. I'll have to catch him up. That's fine. He's going towards loot boxes and toward one of the exits. You're going to run down as well. You're going to stop inside of strike zone from what the prediction said. So that's looking pretty good. The fact that you guys see corpses doesn't matter to me. So the downside that's going to happen here is these guys are going to hear gunfire and they're going to know. And it just has to be that way, because I don't think we get these kills without just going hard, and it's going to be a lot of tally generated. We're going to get a full escalation. It's going to be loud, it's going to be obnoxious, but if we look at like what the pistol would do, for example, it's going to take a long time to get those kills. So we just have to say, let's go for it. A crit and a shred is not terrible. There we go. We're shredding out the armor stacks, so this guy is out of armor. This guy's still got 1 stack left. I can have you run forward towards the loot box. That's going to be fine. The sniper is basically next in line. I could choose to be done with the AR at this point. I think these guys are low enough on health that it's probably reasonable. I didn't have to walk up like that. Actually getting seen as a slight negative. The cool thing is this guy can't quite see the corpses. Of course, when he moves next turn, he will. But for now, we don't have that happening. First captain's dead. There's a chat box for that one. I skipped past it because it's the same dialogue every time. If we got one, good job. I'll leave the next one up. 100% hit chance. Sadly, low rolled on damage. It is what it is. This camera turns on... Right, remainder of this turn. I think I still want to re-disable it and then run past all this stuff. These things will be annoying, but whatever. I'm going to yield this Cyber Knight go, because she's going to have... Oh, I can't actually. This camera's going to turn on. Right. Alright. Well, I can run... Let's see. Let's be smart about action points, right? So let's go there. This will be an easy shot to land. Thank you, Coordinated Charge, for the move speed and move points. We're going to get not an escalation this turn as a result. Objective achieved. There's 2 guard captains down. I will at least get out of the camera cone, which is good. It will see one of these corpses. We got 35k, not bad. A mod to craft a likely revolver, more so than a sniper rifle for. And then you're already near the back. Let's have you do it. Nice thing is he's got quite a lot of bonus move points. 1 from coordinated charge, 1 from steamroll, and I don't know if steamroll is like stacking or something. I'm not sure where my 3rd move point is coming from. Maybe I'm blanking and I'm like not thinking clearly, but I'm not sure why he has 3. But I'm happy about it. We'll take those. So mission is 2/3 done, and if in fact I wanted to exit early and just grab this box and leave, I could. Ultimately, staying on the map just to get 3 boxes is, you know, you could argue not always worth it, but whatever. Orders received. Okay, so I think these 2 both. Actually, I think I saw a lot of boxes. Okay, so Zeta and Sitha. Okay, I guess it's you and you. You're the 2 who have been sent by the AI. I know guards can have their own initiative and choose to go early anyway. But I think realistically, how worried am I about their patrol paths and how much they're going to see? I think not terribly. There is a chance to get shot at for sure. These guys can get relatively close. What I'm going to try to do is throw down a look ahead to get a bit more information. I think these guys are safe where they are. Yeah, you're guarding, which is what expected because you were not told by the A to move. You should see what's going on here, which is the captain's moving and the other guard is moving as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this will easily see me. So I should get somewhere where I'm hidden, which is hopefully that box. That should be functional. I won't have strike zone, but that should be okay. You're going back the way over there, which is good for me. Just skip that forward. You're a little bit in the open here, so I need to hide you. Everyone down here has already moved, so let's actually hide behind this box, and it should be at least functional. Have to spend another action point getting back out of cover, but can't do much more about that. So he lurches forward, and then he's going to lurch forward. I shouldn't be easily seen. Okay. He is not close enough. In fact, this is, I think he was sent by the AI, but yeah, he is just doing a normal patrol path. So not too scary. Now, because I don't have strike zone, yeah, I need the AR to get line of sight on this guard captain. That's really tough because of the exact situation that we're in here. I have to go all the way up there, which is not ideal. So what I'm tempted to do here is say, you know what? We're just going to have to pistol the first guy. It's not pretty. But we have to kind of clear him out because we just can't reach the guard captain. So let's just use our worst gunners and just slowly work that. And it's just kind of the best we have. Decent crit, couple of shots, and then you're behind me. You're at an 11. I'm not terribly worried about an 11, so I don't even think I need to reload. I think I'm happy just to run forward. I think that's okay. So you're fine like that. I'm going to throw down marker sights to get accuracy and crit. So, okay, down you go. Great. Of course, now the guard captain knows that stuff is going on. I think full auto is better than 2 single targets here. And in fact, I'm going to throw down iron grip so that I have ballistic damage upgrade and I can reset some of the recoil. That'll be some decent damage. A bit under a coin flip to shred armor. We got it. That's pretty sweet. The crit helps there as well. And of course, these guys have heard gunfire, so they're going to report. However, the fact that his armor's been shredded once means the damage reduction is now only 50%. And I'm a little willing to say maybe we can wear you down with pistol shots. 60 per hit isn't too bad. I'm going to go ahead and just yield. He's got to reload, but it still shouldn't be that bad. We're only getting we're getting only 2 shots here. But with iron grip resetting by recoil, yeah, these shots I can't do too little damage. But the one thing I'm worried about though one thing I'm worried about, yeah, as the mission is now complete, is how scary you're going to be, because now that he's heard gunfire for a different turn, I think it's very likely he tries to act out. Unfortunately, I don't have range for interference spikes, so he's probably going to get to move next turn, and he's moving relatively early. And only my hacker is going before then, which means I need to put someone who's got Overwatch up to this. It could be my sniper, it could be my gunslinger. Link Watch actually comes with 2 shots, which is pretty beneficial. It means I can block this guy. Actually, no, your initiative's too bad, but still, probably locking him down is important. And then the thing is, Overwatch puts me in low initiative, so he's probably going to have the ability to walk in afterwards. I think it's still going to be the gunslinger, ultimately. But he needs to secure the team. I didn't see anything that said orders received, but I still suspect that we're going to see some angst. So I'm going to reload. Stand here. And yeah, unfortunately, oh man. I'm going to be ending my turn. He's like in full cover, so we can't shoot him. He'll come around to like here by the end of his turn. Yeah, the problem is he's going to walk up and he's probably going to see somebody. I mean, I'm tempted to let them move. I know I just wasted a bunch of action points, but like, this path is not that straightforward. This box actually makes it a little bit annoying for him. I think I can let these guys animate, and it'll be functional. I think they're not going to have AP to shoot with. I might be wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and see what the AI is going to do. Oh, I also forgot that I had Tactical Surge, which makes this a little bit easier. Okay, the nice thing is actually we all slot in an exact time after him before this guy. So this guy isn't going to be a real concern. Wow, you're actually still not moving. Even though you've heard gunfire twice, you're choosing to not move. I love lazy guards. Thank you very much. Okay, well, it's time to start moving forward then. I want to complete by the end of turn 11 so I can get some extra money. That'll be enough where this guy's not going to see you. I think that's reasonable. Start moving the team forward. I'm going to stop there. I'm not sure if I'm going to like do any gameplay yet. For now, I can just yield. My hacker can go be the loot grabber. Yeah, it's gonna require all the AP no matter what. Let's just go grab it. All right. And I'm not gonna go for optional hacking because it's gonna be too obnoxious. It's an orange host. We just got Matrix High Alert there as well. The whole thing's gonna be like way too tough to deal with. At least tough enough that I don't want to deal with it. I am tempted to go for this kill, though. The rest of the guards are far enough away that no one can hear the gunfire. And so throwing down JTAC and firing on this guy... I mean, it's not really needed, though. The thing is, like, we're walking forward every turn anyway. His initiative isn't very good. So, like, we can just make forward progress, and it's fine. Yeah, her min roll is above his current initiative, so she's always going first. This guy back here ended up doing nothing at all, which, hey, you do you, buddy. And running forward for 1 AP seems fine. Looks like nobody low rolled on initiative, which is cool. You're still guarding. Yep, you're just useless. Okay, using some kind of AoE buff doesn't seem worth it for a single lone guard. Let's take him down at the start here. Shot, shot, and then to be action point efficient, I'm going to walk forward a little bit. It's going to be, like, not the greatest accuracy you've ever seen, but... Wow. Nice, we take those. Okay, I should get into optimal range then, so let's go to here. What's interesting actually is, so you can see the base accuracy here, this is 79. So what's funny, I don't know if this is intended or not, but the level 2 pistol has like a base accuracy of I think it's 74. The first scope you can buy is an accuracy of +5. And so I guess him in particular actually has a trait that gives him +3 pistol accuracy, so he actually has guaranteed glancing hits by having over 80 accuracy. But the funny thing is there's also an early game grip mod that I don't think is very good. I forgot to cast it at the start. It was a mistake, but whatever. I don't think it's very powerful. But it gives exactly 1% accuracy, which means you can guarantee glancing hits for level 2 pistols with the first scope in the game. Which is probably actually worth it, because the damage increase you get from going from 79 to 80 is actually pretty meaningful. Because I think at that point, your glances are doing like minimum 50% damage. And so 20% of your attacks are doing 50% damage, which is actually more than 10% more damage multiplicatively. It's something like, it would be more like 12% more damage multiplicatively. 12.5, I think. Which is a pretty big deal. For a single mod, 12.5% more damage is like the damage mod you get from getting level 2 pistol in the first place. So I should probably start adding it to my like normal early game choices, because it does make sense for that. It also slightly lowers recoil per shot, which only matters if you switch targets mid-turn, but it does do that. You're finally moving, hooray! You're gonna see a corpse. It's already been revealed, so we're not getting any new escalation, but it's still a thing. Alright, well, with all the bonus move points, we get to go really far. We have grabbed almost all loot boxes, and all that's really left is like, well, we're going to choose to kill these guys, or try to sneak past them so we can grab one box and get out. We could have, of course, just turned back and gone here, but, you know, grab my free loot. Alright, the escalation is body timer is going to get more escalations, okay. Pito, Theta, and Draco. So that's you, that's you. Okay, you're both sent my way. So let's stay behind cover, like this. They're both going to come to, like, here and maybe, like, here. Maybe, like, yeah, that and that. These are going to be 2 spots roughly there. Cool, let them come. Hopefully you keep running instead of hunting. We'll see. You're useless, I don't care about you. Yep, there's him. You're finally moving. You found some of the captain corpses. Need to wait for you still, but I think JTAC is called for at this point. I think around here is going to be fine. I think Strike Zone is also very reasonable since there's no other guards left to kill. So something like that looks functional. I think turning off pressure sensor is not important. We don't care about that one tally. You're going to run forward. Okay, he got a little bit closer up than I thought he was going to, but I was pretty close in my movement estimation. Alright, so 5 AP is enough for 3 shots. Let's go for you first, since you're going to be able to see people. We can retain the element of surprise a little bit nicer if we make sure we shoot the other guy from behind. Ooh, and the crit were huge. Good job, buddy. Alright, we can all run forward. Line of sight's a little tight there, but it should be fine. Ideally, we actually let the Cyberdeck get the kill. Steamroll is back up, so let's do... We can do a bit of management around that. Like, if I yield for what it's worth, it's not going to go ahead, so... I'm looking for... I think it's 4 action points, because that's shoot, reload, shoot. We'll start here. Might as well marker sight too. There's no reason not to. There's nothing else to do. Shoot. And then I don't need JTAC, I don't think, so I'm just going to go action point efficiency and run up here instead. This guy does not concern me. I think it'll be fine no matter what he does. There is a chance that he could run up to me, but again, I think it's unlikely. Okay, you're done. I'm going to run you up to be in reach. Right, I'm going to put you here, so that you're definitely going to be in... Actually, I shouldn't have done that, because here's the thing. The range on Steamroll is 35 meters, which is the same as Tactical Surge. Guess what? It was going to reach him. That's 35 meters, right? It was going to reach him. It wasn't going to be a problem here. I need to go to 4 AP so that I can shoot, reload, shoot if I really have to. I shouldn't. There should be 100% hit chance, but still. Anyway, the move speed buff that would have come out of this. Right, the 10% 10% move speed. Ideally would have preserved that. So that was a bit of a mistake, but oh well. Well, let's run you down there into some level of cover. Seems reasonable enough. You're the most forward person, so I guess we'll put you... I think it's reasonable as well. Looks like my initiative roll is going to be good next turn. Most of them are going to be under the effects of Steamroll, so it should look pretty solid. It looks like Steamroll is stacking on itself. Or no, wait, that's Coordinated Charge, right? Because if this is turn 6, Coordinated Charge is still on. No, it's turn 7. Coordinated Charge is over, right? Okay, so Steamroll is double counting if your turn is already over. Neat. Oh, I mean, we'll take the power. I think if Steamroll lasted 2 turns, it'd be a better skill. I mean, of course it would, it'd be twice as powerful, but it does seem a bit weaker than other options. It's thankfully relatively cheap to unlock, right? Like, the entire thing is 1 travel node and, like, 5 total points, which is really not that bad. But mission complete. Easily number for turn 11. Let's have you grab this box. Of course, Steamroll is gone for you. I probably should have the other guys grab it since they're going to have actually more total movement, but he's still more than fine here. So, Captain's mission done. We did make some noise. Sure, yes, we made some noise, but, you know, we managed to separate the squads reasonably well and, you know, make it go pretty quickly. Alright, well, B-Tuna will be pleased. Now, of course, B-Tuna also underpays. I think he is still negative trust with us. We're slowly building 1% trust per contract. It's going to take a while. Decent amount of stuff from the loot boxes, which is nice to, you know, give us more upside. Where was it? Oh, right, yeah, the 16k for the secondary. And then, you know, all this is reasonable. Worth noting, the game does round down, so... it's, yeah, like, the base pay for this would have been 33k. The base pay for these were 66k. And because of, I think Trust multiplies that one. It seems like it would, based on my understanding of mission payments. Trust is affecting the secondary payment as well. I could be wrong about that one, but it checks out in my head, doing just head math. Anyway, the point being that 33 divided by 2 is 60.5, and the game rounds down in all cases, basically. The only thing it doesn't round down for is enemy power level. It rounds up. Everything else that I can think of, the game rounds down. Sorry, it doesn't round up in enemy power level, it just rounds. Like 0.5 equals 1, but not, like, 0.1 doesn't equal 1. Alright, so we'll do our random safety save, even though it doesn't really matter. Okay, great. So what I realized, the rest of this mission, or the rest of this video is going to be probably handling this, as well as base management. There's a chance there's going to be some story stuff. If you check the timestamp description below, there might be a timestamp for, like, story legwork happening. There's actual things going on, don't worry. I'm unsure, though. We'll have to see. Regardless, what I realized is I have 2 pending recruits, okay? So I've got Clementine here, who I want to hire. In fact, I'll hire her now because... I can wait, but I will hire her, like, pretty much in, like, 2 seconds. The other one I want to hire is Warren here. But, of course, my barracks only has 1 open slot right now. And if I want to upgrade the barracks, I need to spend 3 days putting in power, and also spend 5 days upgrading the barracks itself. So 8 days, right? Now, 8 days is fine, because this guy's, you know, she's here for 9, he's here for 11. But the problem is, I don't have that many open workers. Like, when this is done, I'm going to go build my SimStream trainer so that it's done in time to get free XP for a truck job and this. Because I want to give Clementine some free experience. I want her to start training, right? That's actually really important to me. Which means this is my other worker, and because I didn't plan this out correctly, I started digging out this instead of, you know, getting the barracks ready. I'm missing out on something relatively important. Other random things to note, as we look at influence levels. Octane's going to limit break, then Diego's going to limit break. I want to see if Diego limit breaks something good. Like, if he gets me level 3 guns, I'm going to buy them. If he gets me level 2 weapon mods, I will use those instead, because there's a better pistol grip, and I believe an AR grip at Street Mods level 2. So, like, this matters to me. I, like, would like this to trigger. Now, limit breaks 6 days apart. Last limit break was this on the 14th, which means we're due for limit break on the 22nd, and then again on the 28th. These are not... I mean, maybe truck job is in time. It's going to be really close. So maybe I'll get limit break in time for truck job, but fingers crossed. But, you know, I'm not going to have it for this, right? Not for my gun runner, anyway. Alright, so safety save has been made. We're going to put our trainer in, and we'll see what this turns into. Okay, hype for my Cyber Knight. Worth noting, loyalty 90 is a breakpoint that gives you higher hype on reset. Considering I don't really care about strength very much. Well, I care about strength a little bit. My reflex and attack attributes are already maxed out, and so there's like a few more points I can put into strength than I'm capped. But I think I'll go for the loyalty to try to get my other options online sooner. Okay, hype limit break, loyalty to 40. Rest of these are very useless, so it's clearly this. Also, she's getting hype because her friend is going on missions, right? Like, let me double check something, right? Because she's not going on missions, like, clearly, right? She's level 2, she's never going at anything. But because... I think it's because Code is a cool guy and she likes him. She's, like, absorbing hype from what's going on there. As far as I can tell, it seems what's happening. Because I don't know how else she would be generating hype. I don't think she's running missions very much. Maybe I'm wrong, and like the last mission that she ran was there, and it was just like in line still. Also, of note, these things are still not getting completed. Everything else is jumping before them in the queue, so I'm not getting my worker freed up. The game basically works on a turns system. It actually, you might see it here. Yeah, game turn 283. There's 4 turns in a day, and so we've basically played out 40 something. That's not right. 50 something, almost 60 days. Yeah, it's about right. The game starts in March, and now it's May. So yeah. So, you know, a turn ticked forward, and it did the limit break, and then a turn ticked forward, and did the limit break, and a turn ticked forward, and hopefully it's the cryo cooling. It might. There we go. Cool. So that means we can build our SimStream trainer. It'll be done in 6 days. That won't be done in time for Underbelly Crawl, but it will be done in time for Truck Job, unless, again, we get our things messed up. Actually, the fact of the matter is, I'm expecting there to be another, like, off by 6 hours, just kidding, you're screwed. So, I don't expect to get my hacker in here in time to make this happen. So I'm just going to go and say, let's go over the barracks. Let's get this done in time, so that it's done in time for Warren going home. I think that is more likely to be correct. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is... So I'm trying to think, because at some point I know this does spawn a legwork. I don't know exactly when, but I know it spawns one. Let's just hire her. Let's just hire her because we should hire her. Welcome to the team. She is an undiscovered digital prodigy. She comes with, honestly, a pretty happy stat distribution. The only stat I don't care about on a hacker is strength. Everything else actually matters. Tech, of course, means the most. Will is useful for high-end hacks because you will take stress, and stress resist is good, so hooray for stress resist. Reaction is good for move speed, just good overall. Free 1 reaction and initiative from Twitchy is fine. +1 for jamming is reasonable. Anyway, let's go ahead and hire her because I think it's worth it. Start the interaction. We can reject her, but we're going to welcome her to the squad. I'll never forget this. Clementine has joined the roster. Alright. I didn't actually check. I don't know if his loyalty bumped up because of that. I mean, actually, I could even look at the old footage, but like, his loyalty was some number last mission. I didn't limit break him. He is at 100 hype though. He probably gained hype from that, by the way. I would guess. Yeah, she's at loyalty 50 because she was rescued, so of course. Yeah, I would imagine he gained loyalty and hype from that, and so he's, you know, pretty happy about this and in a good spot. Anyway, the fact he's level 9 means I can spend points on stuff. I generally like pathing up this way. Well, here's the thing, right? So if I spend 2 points, I can path down like this. And this is like very reasonable. Scapegoat is useful whenever you're gonna like break, you know, the CPU ice or whatever, and push that down. Spoof is just good because you'll just straight up block an escalation, which is also useful. And if you spend 3 more points, you can block 2 escalations. Also of note is that like these all give like things like cyberdeck armor and matrix AP, which are like quite nice. So like these travel nodes are very good. River compression is actually useful as well, especially if you start getting higher level programs going on. Worth noting that I think it like I have 2 talent limit left, which I can get these 2, and getting this would actually be, I don't remember exactly what level off the top of my head. I could look up my data. I don't really care, but there's like a correct way to do this stuff to you know, not run into talent limit problems and like be unable to learn spoof or scapegoat or whatever. Long term, I think the correct pathing, this is like when you're level like 12 or so though, is going up through here because they're all tech nodes, and then going this way. So you drop these two reaction nodes, and you take these 2 tech nodes instead. But you can also just path through, you know, going down this way. I think it's correct for the short term because I can at least use scapegoat. 2 scapegoat tokens means I get to block Q tally from ice dying, which is good. So that's useful for him. For the secondary hacker, we're just going to immediately hit the free respec. And I know no matter what, I'm going to learn hard shell and overclock. I guess actually I can do this stuff. And then at some point, I'll be like, oh, do I need packet loss or do I not need packet loss? Do I want no-lop or do I not need no-lop? But no matter what, I'd always start here. And then we can spend the rest of the points later on because it doesn't really matter. But every single hacker should start that way. And then we'll make the choice when it's time to make the choice. You know, it's not urgent right now. Okay. So, I'm slowly building Underworld Hub tokens. That's good. We're upgrading Field Op Center to 3. That's good as well. Hacking Station is a token. That's cool. Oh, I forgot, but I should be doing it. I need to repair my cyberdeck. I am late on this. This is my fault, but at least it's cheap. It's also fast. 3 days. No big deal. That's wonderful. If we look at the market and we look at cyberdecks, we did unlock the next level of cyberdeck here. So, right, this is at the game. This is available at the start of the game. If you go here, what you get is 20 IO and 10 AP and 40 memory. This matters when you start actually getting higher level programs. Like for example, but like you can just use this and it's enough in most cases. I can show you kind of the math on it, but basically, yeah. So until I get higher level programs, it doesn't matter. Like the only upgrades I can get is like I can learn decoy. Decoy is reasonable. It's 80 IO to load, but it comes with shield and armor, which is nice. It saves me AP having to lose or having to load or use hard shell. Or at least it can. Trace vector, I think not really needed. Data filter. I can trade out some AP and gain armor instead, which I think is kind of reasonable. If you're ever in a spot where you are running a bunch more high-level programs, you tend to have AP to spare and be a little bit tighter on IO. Obviously, the irony here is this costs you IO the first time. But if you're able to like spend your first turn like loading data filter and decoy and like maybe even saving overclock until like a later turn and just like putting some programs in and like having kind of a bad first turn where you don't do very much, then these just stay loaded. As long as you have the spare memory, they don't matter anymore. To be fair, the memory is tight at some point, don't get me wrong. But it lets you like, oh yeah, I can... So basically, basic programs have 60 IO, and then level 2 programs have 100. So if you imagine, right, the normal gameplay pattern is Deception plus Scan plus Disarm plus Sleaze is 60 times 4 is 240. Every single upgrade you take is plus 60. And so, right, plus 60, plus 60, plus 60, plus 60. There's also a Scan 3, which is 140. Sorry, not plus 60, plus 40, right? So, right, 240, 280, 320, 360, 400, right? So you'd actually want 400 memory to load a bunch of level 2 programs. Okay, well, cyberdecks? Yeah, well, 400. Look, I can load an entire suite of level 2 programs and hold them all held. Yeah, pretty good, right? That's useful. And in fact, what's technically optimal is to do something kind of in the middle. It's funny, like, this is 40 more active memory. So what actually works here is what you can do, and what I actually recommend, but it requires the limit break, is you wait until you get Deception 2 and Scan 3, which is one program limit break up. And that gives you perfect memory to hold everything. And the IO is decent. It's overall fine, especially if you get the headwear that I got. So that works actually pretty well. Anyway, theoretical, down the line. Don't have time for it, don't have money for it right now. But yeah, as you can see, when I go back to the market here and I look at the next level cyberdeck, it's like, no, I don't need this right now. The extra 40 active memory, like, quite directly lets me get one more level of program. And so I assume this is a, relatively on purpose. It's actually, I think, partially why that their utility programs, like, I guess not this one, but things like Decoy, actually have 80 baseline IO, because that's exactly 2 steps. But of course, Trace Vector and Data Filter are 60. I don't know how much this is exactly intended, like, to be clear. Clearly everything's in like multiples of 20, and so you're bound to hit some breakpoint no matter what happens. But you can see, right, the quantum buffer or whatever, or how many quantum bits is always in stages of 20 or 40. Anyway, yeah, we're upgrading the barracks in order to host the Scourge. I don't know if I really need him. He'd basically just be an understudy. I would probably turn him into a soldier that happened to have dissolve in most cases. But to be fair, I had to run a Vanguard on a combat mission earlier and a hacker because I don't have enough actual combatants. I suppose my actual combat team would be Cyber Knight, Gunslinger, Sniper, Soldier, Sniper, really. Like, it would just be those 5. And then have an understudy hacker for when I need it, so that in case one guy's out sick, it's going to be okay. Something like that. That's kind of vaguely the lookup here. Anyway, let's say we played it this way. I maybe should have gone for this instead of the barracks. I don't know. Whatever. Here's a slight limit break. We'll go low to 70 because I don't want any short-term buffs. Those are trash. Alright, Origami Joe. It's finally time. Herr Schweinchen is giving me the go-ahead. We're going to be rich. There's a problem, isn't there? Yep. But my smuggling route is jammed up. There's a Slagga gang in the way. What tunnels? Worth a lot to me, okay? Help me out. This timeline is tight. Okay, so Slagga Smash can be planned. Code blocks like, yo, he's gone. We need to talk. So this can be anyone with the Free Streets compact background. The only one that actually exists in the starting roster is Liat the Sniper. There might be some as Underworld Hub recruits. I haven't checked and looked. I truly don't know. I could find out, of course, you know, do a bunch of saving and loading, whatever, but one of the core strengths of actually hiring him is that he says, oh, I've got an alternate solution here to Slagga Smash. Yeah, see, it's a Free Streets compact area. Remind me why I should care. Let's get some lore. So that means we need some legwork. Now, of course, he can't go because he's blocked by being faction barred and by being a faction deserter. Now, what's cool is, right, this is in the under, right? So Rhino, whom we recently hired, is an under navigator, which is pretty sweet. Of course, these other people were raised in the streets, so they have, like, some level of familiarity. But it's got to be somebody who, like, actually vaguely understands what's going on. And so, here, Rhino. Hook us up. So, of course, that's going to be relatively short. Okay, so what I want to do is have this legwork also run at the same time. And in case there's a weird sequencing error, I'm going to take a safety save. And the honesty here is that, like, this should pop before this is done. And so I should be allowed to do all of this and it's going to be fine, right? This shouldn't be a huge problem. It should be totally reasonable. So let this tick forward. Great. It fast forwarded to 0 hours. That's fine, though. I want to use this Underworld Hub token to try to guarantee it. So she wants to get me on some legwork. So yeah, we're looking for, you know, just doing stuff for her. So we can look for blackmail ammunition, and we can send Clementine, because she's actually not just a hacker. Her trait is actually that she's sick at this, so 67% is pretty sweet. Alternative is to go a little bit aggressive and send our door kicker after it. But realistically, Clementine's the best at it, so she can do this job. Now, the baseline chance for this is actually 75%, but because I have minus 10% legwork chance, multiplicative 90% legwork, I have it be a little bit worse. So we're going to go ahead and use the token here. And I'm tempted to save scum this at 87%. I won't, but I will still save the, like, yep. We're going to play it out. Please don't fail me. Try to talk with them. Got a dead end. Interesting. So that's a fail, right? Yeah, she failed it. Okay. So she failed it. I'm just going to do a load to show you what happens if she succeeds. Odds are she'll succeed this time. You were right. It really is FSC. And they're willing to talk. She's willing to meet face to face. What options do we have there? We can chat with her. Say live wire negotiation, much like when we hired our recent sniper here. If you can't close the deal, it's going to be a fight. It'll turn into violence. And of course, we get a new contact, Lucretia Blue. What do we know about her? She's an FSC warlord. Sure. Alright. So now we can do Southie Strut instead of Slagga Smash. Right, we can do that as one of the options. So we're overall on a save 4. And I realize that save's coming. However, it's more interesting than just doing Slagga Smash, which I've already done on most of my playthroughs already. So, yes, I cheated. I, re-rolled until the 13% didn't fail me. Feel free to tell me I'm a scum in the comments below. Anyway, though, yeah, the problem is I have very little to spend money on. I'm waiting for a good influence limit break to see. We're still waiting for these to come through. It's been a few days actually since the last limit break, right? This popped on the 14th, so we're overdue, kind of, Anyway. What am I trying to do? What am I trying to plan on here? I'm kind of blanking on how this is supposed to work. Yeah, I guess we just run this, right? For fun. I do have open tasks here. I probably should have started this barracks a little bit sooner. That was a mistake. Need to build at some point as well. Now, worth noting that several of my people are actually busy right now, right? So, she's busy with legwork right now. My primary sniper also can't go because he's not allowed in this territory, so... We now know it's against Lucretia Blue. We actually check her contact card real quick if we want. It's not sorted by name. Let's sort by name. We're going backwards for who knows what reason. Let's probably sort forward. No, I'm still griefing. Name A to Z. Okay, we still don't have her in the contact. That's fine. It's whatever. I don't care. Right, so. We don't have any contacts who could give us. Yeah, we don't have a Corrupt Fenian Insider. We don't have... for either one of these, so we can't get this. That's fine. I don't think I need to use any Field Ops tokens on this. In fact, I can't anyway. It's not possible. So Southie Strut is a live wire negotiation. It might turn into combat. I guess we'll see. Cyber Knight is required, but we can get new weaponry if it goes well. Our Mercs. Code Block, of course, cannot go. So let's take off his gear. And do we want to send somebody, and who do we want to send? Well, I guess we send the backup sniper. Makes sense to me. She can hold all the gear that he was going to hold. Here you go. And as a level 7 sniper, you can learn the sniper talents. Great. With your last 3 points, we can multi-class you into soldier, so you can do some more damage. Overwatch is very good, and then we can ditch marker types, but I think Iron Grip is actually worthwhile. It's a really good one-pointer, and then we can go towards damage and savagery and recoup. So you're functional here. Being that it would be a combat mission, we can unequip all of our silencers. Oh yeah, we can move her gear around as well. I don't need to right now, but long-term you would do that. This is the core 4. I'm leaving the hacker in so that he can gain XP. Yeah, he's not really a great combatant by any means. This guy would be better at it, but I don't really care. Code Block can't go. Yep, change Merc, and we're going to have Rhino come in. So this is the squad. Let's do our negotiation. That I cheated to acquire. Hello. So, there's them. Appreciate you sticking out your hand for peace instead of war. Don't want to fight a Cyber Knight. Ah, if we kill the smugglers, they'll be happy. Okay, so we can basically offer 2 obligations, and then she would protect the gun runners. Or, let's see, is willing to give safe passage and additional protection to the gun runners in return for 2 obligations. Or can not protect them and just let them pass for 1 obligation 50k. So those are the only offers. Fight or do it. And Lucretia Blue, of course, if she lived, would, you know, said probably headhunters after us and do really annoying things overall. Of course, obligations are the opposite of favors. She can basically force us to take a job. If we don't take it, she can be a hater, make her job more difficult. 2 obligations to secure it. Sounds good. Great. All right, she's more powerful. She's got higher trust of us, higher influence, higher power level overall. We did it. Congratulations. Very tough mission. I'm going to make a different save so I can go back at some point and see what trying to fight that one looks like. I've never actually tried that one. I have almost always played the mission on an Iron Man run, so I haven't had the ability to check at alternatives, but we've got new stuff. Wonderful, wonderful. I need to take a quick AFK. You will see a jump cut. See you soon. Alrighty, welcome back again. Ultimately, we are going to do just a last couple of sections of small base management. Ah, cool, some more fun stuff going on here. Okay, so some very light base management around getting these things set up, getting my nanofab set up specifically under this trashed room, which means getting a nano scrubber ready as well. It's going to require power, which will take 5 days, plus the upgrade will take 5 days, so that's going to be 10 days away. Again, we'll get the nano scrubber, nano fab ready. With the barracks being done, I suppose I'll hire the Scourge, although I honestly don't super need it. Maybe I can stop at barracks level 3 after all, and I made some bad choices and whatever. Clearly won't have the trainer ready in time, but I am kind of feeling like once she's done with this, putting her in for some cyber surgery and making that more powerful as well. Ultimately, I just can't spend money enough, like fast enough right now from the base. Still, of course, waiting for some of these limit breaks to come in. One thing I can do, though, is look at what Origami Joe got. So if we look at weapons, I believe anything that's level 3 is new. If we double check, right, and we say, hey, Joe, what have you got here? Yeah, he's got imported weaponry, which is level 3 guns, imported weapon mods, which are level 3 as well. So if we look for things that are higher level, we've got this new assault rifle, right? The NX long sight. We've also got the 65mm sniper rifle. We've got basically all of these, right? These are, and this is all new, by the way. The London Edge, I believe, is new as well. So we have a new SMG, 2 new SMGs, I believe. We've got a new shotgun, new everything. So we can compare these assault rifles real quick, right? So up top is the long sight, to the bottom is the NX standard. So the long sight has much more optimal range, much more max range, less accuracy, but slightly more damage per bullet. So like we can compensate the accuracy. We're really happy with that one. Also, actually, 6 shots per mag is a pretty nice thing. The standard only having 4 is pretty rough. It is only 2 AP to reload, though. So it's like urban assault rifle levels of AP, which is nice, but 4 shots per magazine kind of sucks. We can look at mods and look at powerful and rare here. Not that it matters who we click on, but yeah. So we've got a... I think some of these are new here as well. If we look for things that are like usable by pistols and assault rifles, because that's what I'm actually using. We've got a level 2 pistol silencer, which is, I believe, an extra 3 meters off the noise. I believe baseline is 15. Also reloads whatever. We already have this one. I think this one is new. I think the baseline suppressor is 10s. This one's 11. Looks like no new scopes here. These all look the same. Like this stuff's all the same. So looks like there's very, very little, if anything at all. Like I think these are the only, maybe this as well. I'm not sure. These are like kind of the only things that got new weapon mod wise. But for the weapons, for sure. If we compare what we're currently using, the Street Dragon, and we say, hey, how's the long sight, compare? It's like, well, accuracy is -8. That's not great. But extra bullet's a really big deal for shooting more than one person, right? It's 25% more damage shooting more than one person. Now, 28 pure damage versus 33 ballistic damage. The pure is far better, but 25% more damage via number of bullets, probably superior. Slightly higher armor shred, not bad. 5 range, really useful. Lower recoil, decent. But keep in mind, damage per bullet is outright lower. Accuracy is also outright lower. And so you have to really be able to make use of the range just to be good. But I can see it. You can compare it to the NX standard as well. Instead, it's like, okay, lower accuracy, still less damage per bullet. Honestly, the reload situation is probably worse off the smaller magazine and lower reload size. It's like, yeah, this is like better in some cases. Lower arc is also kind of inferior. This is, of course, me only comparing, the full auto version. If we look at single target, I mean, it's actually also probably strictly worse. 45 flat pure damage versus the, 4 here. Yeah, okay, it's literally more damage single target to use the Street Dragon. The range, again, is still a comparison here, but that's it. So it's like, well, range versus just obviously more damage. Yeah, the gun is like probably not quite better. But if we can upgrade that again, basically if we look back at what Origami Joe has, this can be upgraded to level 4, both these can. So he has a ton of options now that he could improve. And if that's the case, then we get pretty happy. For now, though, it doesn't seem the most pressing, don't get me wrong. Otherwise, I guess the other consideration is, would we want one of the other options like the Rail Dart or something here? I'm kind of not feeling it. I don't think any of these quite make sense. Ultimately, just the Street Dragon is just such a league of everything else that I don't see why it would kind of bother. And I don't believe they've got new pistols. Oops, I clicked the wrong one, actually. Yeah, so they've got, again, this new sword here. They've got this, to be fair, is very, very good. This is a lot of damage. Right, you've got a 6-shot full auto with 40 pure damage. That's good. That's a good amount of damage. If we actually re-add heavy weapons, we can kind of compare it. So, like, you can compare it directly to the Street Dragon, actually, and it's, like, not that unfavorable. So, okay, we're comparing a full-on assault rifle to an SMG, right? Okay, range -5. Not great, but, like, playable. Lower noise, okay, whatever. That's not a huge deal. Damage per bullet, well, okay, 57 ballistic for 12 pure. That's obviously not going to be better, but it's also 50% more bullets, which means that if you're hitting more than one person, and so you can swing the range, which matters here, you are going to do more damage per action point, again, if you can swing the range and you're hitting more than one person. If those things are true, this gun is literally better than my starting assault rifle. If it's not true, then you'd rather have the range, you'd rather have the single target damage, right? Just, hey, this is a pretty useful thing. You want to compare it to like the long sight. Obviously, the range gets even more extreme, but yeah, 70 plus 40 on 6 shots. Anyway, random thing there. A consideration you could possibly make here. But obviously, as we have a lot of money, we want to be able to use it. So next thing to do is probably going to be running Truck Job, and then running this one afterwards in case we somehow get hurt. This is failable. Like, I don't mind failing this, but I do actually want to succeed on Truck Job here. So we can let the builders tick forward a very slight amount. She's getting impatient. Makes sense. I understand. Yep, still fine. We've got time. Great. This is done. And so if we wanted to get the nanofab ready, it would only take 2.5 days to put these things in. So I've got to start on the nano scrubber now. It does mean that I've honestly done a bad job of future planning. I've got these 2 cleaned rooms I'm not building anything out of, which means I've just done a bad job of bouncing around incorrectly and not really sticking to an appropriate plan. If I had not dug this out and just started on the barracks sooner, I could have put this SimStream trainer in on time, and lots would have gone nicer. But it is what it is. Minor mistakes were made. So at the end of the day, next mission is going to be Truck Job. We'll do what we can. Hopefully it goes well. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.